Have you ever spent days trying to figure out why a woman suddenly pulled away, even when everything seemed to be going great? You were attentive, loyal, present, and still, out of nowhere, she got distant, colder. Maybe she even said, "It's not you, it's me," and then disappeared. Here's the hard truth: 87% of men never find out why they were actually rejected. They blame bad luck, bad timing, or think it just wasn't meant to be. But what if I told you there's an invisible pattern at play, one that silently decides whether you'll be the man she desires or the one she forgets? Philosophers like Schopenhauer, Nietzsche, Jung, Machiavelli, even Darwin, they all uncovered the same hidden truths. They didn't just study ideas, they studied human nature, especially how emotions silently control attraction. In this video, you're going to discover the 8 unconscious emotional weaknesses most women have and how they affect your relationships, without you even realizing it. And more importantly, you'll learn how to turn that knowledge into confidence, clarity, and control, without manipulation, without games. Watch this video until the very end, because each insight builds on the last and the final one. It's a mindset shift that most men will never figure out on their own. If you're the kind of person who questions everything, who finds beauty in philosophy, the struggles of the human mind, and the truths no one dares to say, then this channel is for you. So hit that subscribe button, or at the very least, give this video a like. Whether you're a man or a woman, I genuinely want to hear your thoughts on this. So when the video ends, scroll down and drop your opinion in the comments. Your perspective might help someone else watching, and who knows, it might even inspire the next video. In today's complex, ever-evolving world, the dynamics of modern relationships have undergone a seismic shift. Gone are the days of traditional courtship and fixed roles. Instead, we're navigating a landscape of blurred boundaries, conflicting expectations, and an endless array of choices. As a man, you're likely no stranger to the challenges of this new terrain, where one misstep can send the entire relationship careening off course. But what if I told you that the key to mastering this uncertain landscape lies not in understanding the complexities of the other sex, but rather in recognizing and embracing the hidden strengths and weaknesses that lie within yourself? At first glance, this may seem counterintuitive. After all, it's easy to get caught up in trying to decipher the mysterious workings of the female mind, to decode the subtle cues and subtle signals that can make or break a relationship. But the truth is, the greatest obstacle to genuine connection and intimacy lies not in the other person, but in the untapped potential that resides within you. And it's precisely here, in the uncharted territories of your own psyche, that the real battle for control is waged. Consider, for instance, the universal phenomenon of the drama queen. We've all encountered her before, the friend, the ex, the current girlfriend, who seems to manufacture crisis after crisis, each one more elaborate and attention-grabbing than the last. On the surface, it's easy to dismiss her as a manipulative, attention-seeking airhead. But scratch beneath the surface, and you'll find a far more nuanced, far more complex individual, driven by a deep-seated need for validation and connection. Or, take the case of the high-maintenance girlfriend, who seems to require an endless array of emotional validation and reassurance. On the one hand, it's easy to view her as a spoiled, entitled brat, unwilling to take responsibility for her own emotions. But what if, instead, she's merely reflecting the deep-seated fears and insecurities that lie within you? What if, by trying to fix her, you're actually avoiding the uncomfortable truth that your own emotional landscape is just as turbulent and unpredictable as hers? These are the kinds of questions that will be explored in the pages that follow. Not about how to win or lose in the game of relationships, but rather about how to tap into the hidden reservoir of strength and wisdom that lies within you. By embracing your own vulnerabilities, your own fears and insecurities, you'll find that the dynamics of your relationships begin to shift in profound ways. You'll start to see the world, and the people in it, in a new, more nuanced light. And you'll begin to realize that the true key to power and control lies not in dominating or manipulating others, but in mastering the uncharted territories of your own psyche. As we delve deeper into the complex tapestry of modern relationships, it's essential to acknowledge the pervasive influence of the feminine psyche on the dynamics of intimacy. One crucial aspect of this phenomenon is the tendency of women to conflate sex and love, blurring the lines between physical desire and emotional connection. This confusion can lead to a deep-seated sense of insecurity as men struggle to navigate the often treacherous waters of feminine emotions. Consider, for instance, the phenomenon of the emotional pendulum. Women in particular are prone to oscillating between states of extreme elation and despair, often with little warning or rational justification. This can be disorienting for men who may feel powerless to intervene or even predict the trajectory of their partner's emotions. The result is a relationship marked by intense highs and crushing lows as each partner struggles to keep pace with the other's mood swings. Now, consider how this applies when you face a situation where your partner's emotional state is in flux. You may find yourself walking on eggshells, trying to avoid triggering a crisis or conversely, desperately seeking to alleviate her distress. The problem is that this approach reinforces the very dynamic you're trying to escape, creating a feedback loop of emotional dependency and anxiety. By failing to establish clear boundaries and communicate your own emotional needs, you're essentially ceding control to the whims of your partner's emotions. Another crucial layer is the role of intimacy itself in perpetuating this cycle. When sex and love become inextricably linked, it's easy for the physical act to take on a disproportionate significance, becoming a source of validation and self-worth rather than a natural expression of desire. This can lead to a situation where your partner's emotional state becomes inextricably tied to your performance in bed, creating a pressure cooker atmosphere that's both suffocating and demotivating. In this context, it's essential to recognize that the true nature of intimacy lies not in the fusion of bodies, but in the creation of a safe, supportive space where both partners can express themselves freely. By separating the physical from the emotional, you can begin to establish a more authentic connection, one that's grounded in mutual respect and trust rather than emotional manipulation or dependency. Now consider how this might require you to re-examine your own approach to intimacy, to question the assumptions you've made about what it means to be a good partner or lover. The journey ahead will be fraught with challenges, but the rewards will be well worth the effort. As you navigate the complex web of relationships, it's crucial to recognize the insidious influence of what I'll call the emotional anchor. This phenomenon occurs when a partner becomes so deeply entrenched in their own emotional landscape that they begin to drag their partner along, creating a ripple effect of anxiety, insecurity, and codependency. Now consider how this applies when you're in a relationship with someone who's struggling with their own emotional anchors, perhaps stemming from past traumas or unresolved conflicts. In such situations, it's easy to get caught up in the drama, trying to rescue or fix the other person. However, this approach only serves to reinforce the emotional anchor, creating a sense of dependence and powerlessness. Instead, you must learn to recognize the signs of an emotional anchor in your partner and gently guide them towards a more balanced and healthy emotional state. This requires empathy, understanding, and a deep commitment to mutual growth and development. If this message is resonating with you and you'd like to support this work, consider donating on Ko-fi. We're aiming for a $500 goal to keep this content alive, independent. The link is in the description, and every bit helps. Now, back to the message. One effective strategy is to encourage your partner to engage in self-reflection and introspection, helping them to identify and challenge their negative thought patterns and behaviors. By fostering a sense of self-awareness and emotional intelligence, you can empower your partner to break free from the emotional anchor and develop a more resilient and adaptive emotional landscape. This, in turn, will create a ripple effect of positive change within the relationship. As both partners become more confident, secure, and emotionally intelligent. Another crucial aspect of navigating emotional anchors is to recognize the importance of setting clear boundaries and maintaining emotional distance. This doesn't mean becoming aloof or detached, but rather creating a sense of emotional space that allows both partners to breathe, reflect, and recharge. By doing so, you can prevent the emotional anchor from becoming too entrenched and instead foster a sense of mutual respect, trust, and intimacy. Now, consider how this applies in situations where you're dealing with a partner who's struggling with anxiety or depression. In such cases, it's essential to approach the situation with compassion, understanding, and a willingness to learn. By educating yourself about the condition and offering emotional support, you can help your partner feel more comfortable opening up about their struggles and seeking help. This, in turn, will create a sense of safety and trust, allowing your partner to feel more secure in their emotional landscape and more confident in their ability to manage their emotions. Ultimately, navigating emotional anchors requires a deep commitment to emotional intelligence, empathy, and mutual growth. By recognizing the signs of an emotional anchor and taking proactive steps to address it, you can create a more balanced, healthy, and resilient relationship that's built on mutual respect, trust, and intimacy. As we delve deeper into the intricacies of feminine psychology, it's essential to acknowledge the profound impact of societal expectations on a woman's emotional landscape. The constant pressure to conform to traditional beauty standards, coupled with the demands of modern femininity, can create a sense of suffocation, as if a woman is trapped in a gilded cage, her every move scrutinized and judged. Now consider how this applies when you're in a relationship with a woman who's struggling to reconcile her authentic self with the expectations of others. One crucial aspect of this phenomenon is the phenomenon of imposter syndrome. Women, in particular, are prone to feeling like they're pretending to be someone they're not, as if they're living in a state of constant performance. This can lead to a deep-seated sense of insecurity, as if she's always on the verge of being discovered, of being found out. Now, consider how this might play out in the context of a relationship. When a woman feels like she's pretending to be someone she's not, she may become withdrawn, isolated, and disconnected from her partner. This can create a sense of emotional distance, as if she's lost in a sea of self-doubt and uncertainty. Furthermore, the pressure to conform to societal expectations can also lead to a phenomenon known as social masking. Women may feel like they need to hide their true selves, their authentic emotions and desires in order to fit in with the crowd, to be accepted and loved. This can create a sense of disconnection, as if she's living in a state of constant compartmentalization, her true self hidden beneath a mask of social acceptability. Now consider how this might affect a relationship. When a woman feels like she's living in a state of social masking, she may become guarded, defensive, and resistant to intimacy. This can create a sense of emotional numbness, as if she's lost in a sea of superficial connections. Conversely, when a woman is able to shed her social mask and be her authentic self, she may experience a profound sense of liberation, as if she's finally free to be herself, without fear of judgment or rejection. This can create a sense of emotional intimacy, as if she's finally connected to her partner on a deep and meaningful level. Now consider how this might play out in the context of a relationship. When a woman is able to be her authentic self, she may become more vulnerable, more open, and more receptive to her partner's emotions and needs. This can create a sense of emotional safety, as if she's finally found a true connection with another human being. Ultimately, the key to understanding the complexities of feminine psychology is to recognize the profound impact of societal expectations on a woman's emotional landscape. By acknowledging the pressure to conform, the need for social acceptance, and the desire for authentic connection, we can begin to unravel the intricate web of emotions that underlies the feminine experience. As we navigate the complex tapestry of relationships, we begin to discern a subtle yet profound thread that weaves its way through the fabric of human connection. It is the thread of authenticity, the delicate dance between vulnerability and resilience, and the intricate balance between emotional expression and intellectual restraint. Drawing these strands together, we see a portrait emerge of a relationship that is not merely a transactional exchange, but a deeply personal and transformative journey. In the midst of this journey, we encounter the paradox of the feminine psyche, a realm where the rational and the emotional, the conscious and the subconscious, intersect and collide. It is here that we find the enigmatic and the mysterious, the intuitive and the irrational, all vying for dominance in the complex and ever-shifting landscape of human emotions. As we pivot towards the final reflection, we begin to grasp the profound implications of this paradox and the ways in which it shapes our relationships, ourselves, and our very understanding of the world. The journey we have undertaken has taken us through the uncharted territories of the human heart, where we have encountered the hidden reservoirs of emotion, the unspoken desires, and the unacknowledged fears that shape our relationships. We have seen how the societal expectations and cultural norms that govern our behavior can both empower and constrain us, and how the delicate balance between vulnerability and resilience is essential to the health and well-being of our relationships. As we reflect on this journey so far, we are reminded that the path forward is not a linear progression, but a cyclical journey of discovery, growth, and transformation. In light of these insights, the path forward becomes clearer, a path that is not merely a destination, but a process, a journey of self-discovery and growth that is both transformative and ongoing. It is a path that requires us to let go of our preconceptions and our assumptions, to surrender to the uncertainty and the unknown, and to embark on a journey of exploration and discovery that is both intellectually and emotionally challenging. As we embark on this final leg of our journey, we are reminded that the greatest challenges often lie not in the external world, but in the inner world of our own hearts and minds, and that the greatest rewards often lie in the depths of our own vulnerability and resilience. As we navigate the intricate landscape of human relationships, we are reminded that the true power of connection lies not in the external manifestations of love and affection, but in the depth of our own vulnerability and resilience. It is in the willingness to be imperfect, to be hurt and to be vulnerable, that we find the strength to love, to forgive, and to heal. The journey of self-discovery and growth that we have undertaken has revealed the profound impact of societal expectations and cultural norms on our relationships, and the delicate balance between vulnerability and resilience that is essential to their health and well-being. As we reflect on the complexities of the feminine psyche, we are reminded that the enigmatic and the mysterious, the intuitive and the irrational, are all part of the intricate web of human emotions. It is in embracing this paradox and in recognizing the multifaceted nature of the human experience that we find the true key to understanding and connection. The path forward is not a linear progression, but a cyclical journey of discovery, growth and transformation, one that requires us to let go of our preconceptions and our assumptions, and to embark on a journey of exploration and discovery that is both intellectually and emotionally challenging. In the depths of our own vulnerability and resilience, we find the strength to love, to forgive, and to heal. It is in the willingness to be imperfect, to be hurt, and to be vulnerable that we discover the true power of connection and the profound impact that it has on our lives and our relationships. The true practice begins now as we continue on this journey of self-discovery and growth, and as we strive to create relationships that are authentic, meaningful, and transformative. May we remember that the greatest challenges often lie not in the external world, but in the inner world of our own hearts and minds, and that the greatest rewards often lie in the depths of our own vulnerability and resilience. As we move forward on this journey, let us remember the importance of embracing our own imperfections and of being vulnerable in our relationships. Let us strive to create a culture that values and celebrates vulnerability, and that recognizes the strength that it takes to be imperfect and to be human. By doing so, we will find that our relationships become more authentic, more meaningful, and more transformative, and that we are able to connect with others on a deeper and more profound level. The true power of connection lies not in the external manifestations of love and affection, but in the depth of our own vulnerability and resilience. May we remember this, and may we strive to live it out in our own lives and in our own relationships. If this message spoke to you, and you'd like to support this kind of content, consider buying me a coffee on Ko-fi. We're working toward a goal of $500 to keep this project alive and growing. Every contribution, no matter how small, helps keep these ideas flowing into the world. And if you can't donate right now, just sharing this video already means a lot.